Alright guys, how's it going? Well, I'm a little bit bored today, so I'm just making videos about anything random that's on my mind, right? Just bored because it's all about Jurgen Klopp, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, I just want to get to next week, so we're not talking about Jurgen anymore. I know that sounds awful. Don't worry, I'll be in tears on Sundays. I'm sure you will be as well. We'll be in tears in fucking August and September and October, and when it all goes fucking wrong under Arne Slot as well. We'll be fucking tears then, won't we? No, look, I'm only joking. I just said in my previous video, I said I'm going to make a video about Arne Slot and see if I can get a bite. Do you know what I mean? I'm a bit naughty like that. So yeah, Arne Slot. Have you had time to think about it now? What do you think? I think we're all behind him, aren't we? When I say behind him, I don't mean behind him like Ryan Babel with a cheeseburger in his mouth. Slop's mouth. Some people won't understand that. You'd have to ask in the comments, someone will explain. I was listening to the radio earlier, actually, today. I don't really do that much these days, but I did put it on because I was bored. And I was listening to, I think it was, I don't want to get this wrong. I'm sure it was Simon Jordan. I'm sure it was Simon Jordan up with Jim White, but I can't remember what they said, so I'm not gonna pursue that any further. But they were talking about Klopp leaving, and Klopp, you know, there was a lot of people saying that Klopp wasn't a Premier League great, you know, like Wenger, Ferguson, Guardiola, etc. And Arne Slot, I'm sure he came up in conversation, but I can't remember what was said, so I don't want to be naughty and say something that might not have been said. But I did see Joey Barton on X running his mouth about Arne Slot, and I don't know if I think I can play it because it's only a fraction, so it shouldn't, you know, create a problem. Not that usually bothers me. But so I'm gonna go with it, right?
And Ancelotti were handed the keys to the kingdom clearly because of how good they were as players and how good coaches and young coaches they were. But they're the best two in the world for me. I think Big Jurgen's number 3, and I think Simeone is a close 4th. Mainly, and I say that because I think Simeone's wasted more money than Klopp. So I look at the reasons why is Jurgen Klopp leaving Liverpool this year, and I go, is that because FSG have gone, no, we need this Michael Edwards back, and he does all the transfers, and Jurgen's gone, not having that.
Well, that's why he left in the first place. That was the rumour going round at the start of it, why Edwards left. It was over Jordan Henderson's contract. Michael Edwards was
so what number in the world is Arne Slot then?
Arne Slot's not coming at this. This is what's weird for me as
No, hold on a minute. You're the biggest club in the world. You're getting rid of the 3rd best manager in the world, right? Which we've all accepted. So if you're at a selling club and you're at a Real Madrid, Galacticos, which is what he's claimed to be.
Yeah.
What number managers Arne Slot in the world?
Listen, he's not even top 10. But he's not coming.
You fucking didn't know him last week.
I didn't know when I was not.
Dear me. It's called the Common Sense Podcast, and I don't listen to it. It just came up on my feed today, that clip, you know. So basically, this, you know, suggesting that Arne Slot, you know, isn't up to the standards. Oh, it was. I tell you what, Simon Jordan said. Simon Jordan said someone said something about him being. Arne Slot being, you know, a good manager or a good coach or whatever you want to call him. And he said, yeah, maybe over there, but this is the Premier League, mate, you know. So I know you guys won't give a shit what them two people are saying, do you know what I mean? And I'm just telling you what was said, all right? And I'm bored senseless. So I listen, I've got to be honest with you, all right? I'm always honest. Is this the face of a liar? I was very underwhelmed with this appointment. Very underwhelmed with this appointment. I don't believe he was in the top 3. You know what I mean? But we don't know how he's going to do, right? And in fairness, we don't know how any of those in the top 3 would have done had they got the job as well. So it's easy to look back with hindsight or whatever, but we just don't know. And we've got to trust the process. And he does come across as a nice man, you know what I mean? But you don't get anywhere in life being nice, to be honest with you. He does come across as someone that I feel like he can make that step up into the Premier League. Whether he can do it at Liverpool or not, I don't know, and you don't know. So I am really worried. I've got to be honest with you. But I think it also depends on the squad, as Rafa Benitez would say, because if if the squad remains reasonably unchanged, then he's still got some great players, and fucking me and you should be able to get some. Do you know what I mean? One thing that was said on the not the phone in on the radio show was Liverpool fans will give him time, and I think Liverpool fans will give him time more so than fans of other clubs, big clubs certainly. So it's a period where I'm just like, really, really excited about. I just don't know that's the right word. Excited. I don't know what the word is. Looking forward to, and that's not a word. I just want to see what he does. That's what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't say I'm excited. Jurgen Klopp's leaving Liverpool, and it's going to break my heart. But that's not Arne Slot's fault. But if you never give people a chance in life, so many greats would never have been found. So we'll give him a chance. If you were to say to me, what do you think will happen? I think he'll either be really successful or really terrible. I don't think there'll be an in-between, to be honest with you. So I'm not digging him. Like I say, I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens. But I am worried. I've got to be honest, I am worried. But we might be all right. We might be buzzing off our tits. So anyway, I just wanted to mention Arne Slot. I'm looking forward to the announcement. That's it. It's just a weird period at the moment, guys, especially in terms of making videos and discussion purposes, because there isn't anything else really other than Jurgen Klopp leaving at the moment, and it's going to be like that for the rest of the weekend. So roll on next week. Let's wave Jurgen goodbye and look forward to this new guy coming in. And whether we are excited about his appointment or underwhelmed about the appointment, we'll all be behind him, right? We'll all be supporting him, and we all want to see him do well. He will have the resources in terms of assistance. We don't know what the financial resources are going to be. I would say I'm more worried about the structure of the club, to be honest with you, the new structure of the club, with so many exits and so much power going to Edwards to play, a grown-up version of Championship Manager or Football Manager, whatever it's called these days. But it could be the best thing ever. It's just no one likes change, do they? You're changing a manager and you're changing all these different things. So I don't know what it is about following Liverpool these days and under these owners, but everything just seems so fucking complicated. We seem to speak more about owners and executives and sporting directors throughout the course of a season than we do than signings sometimes. And as I've said recently on a live stream, when I was a kid growing up and a young man or whatever, or certainly before these fuckers owned the club, most Liverpool fans wouldn't even be able to name who a chief executive was. Most people probably, I think what you have to understand is you and I, we're diehards, right? Do you know what I mean? And you're probably more of a diehard than me these days, because I'm really not really in love with the top flight game anymore. Which I think is a good thing for my content, because it means I'm not blind with it, and I'm not biased, and I don't feel like I have any need to be all super positive and stuff to try and get views and things. I'm older, I've achieved what I wanted to do in life, so I think that's good. I think you guys will be more, you probably really hurt when Liverpool lose, whereas I really just fucking get on with my day these days, whereas in the past I'd have been throwing myself off bridges and that. But what you have to understand is that not everyone is a diehard. And you have a lot of, I do think there's a difference between fans and supporters. And, sometimes you'll see, you could have 4 Liverpool fans all in the red shirts, scarves, hanging out of the car, bombing down the motorway, going to Anfield for the first time or a rare time. And if you were to mention what do you think about FSG, people go, who are FSG? I don't think you guys realise that sometimes, that us on the internet, the ones at the top reds that are also on the internet, and some of these supporters groups try to be condescending towards internet supporters. Internet supporters are, I think, really switched on in some. I don't mean like the right, the fucking loop the loop, most of them, but to be honest with you. But I reckon every single one of you watching this video knows who owns Liverpool Football Club, who the sporting director is, who Anna Slot is, right? Now, I can guarantee you, if you went into some pubs in England and sat down, oh yeah, I support Liverpool, mate, because everywhere I go anywhere and I sit down and talk to someone, you talk about football, and what do? Or they'll say, oh, you from around here? I live in Spain. Oh, what do you do out in Spain? So then I tell them what I do. Oh, I'm a Liverpool fan. Oh, all right, yeah. I don't know who's going to be the next manager of Liverpool, do you? And I had that conversation in Dublin, And then you've got the ones, that I had taxi drivers, for example, that recognise me because they're on the internet. So they slag off the internet fans, some of these supporters groups and these top reds, even though they're all on the internet. But I think the internet fans know who all these people are, whereas your casual fans offline sometimes don't. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just sometimes football's just a casual thing for people. They can still love football. I mean, when you were a young lad or a young lass, in your teens or whatever, did you know who the chairman was? Or you didn't care about them things. You only spoke about the signings and the manager and all that. And that's how it should be. And I feel that we now end up talking more about these fuckwits that, are in charge of the club and that. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when Michael Edwards come back, you'd have thought we'd sign fucking Messi. But that's because the people fall into that believing it's such a good thing and they just get on the bandwagon. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So that's it. Random videos today because there's now to talk about, all right, till Jurgen goes. So anyway, if you appreciate the video, my efforts, please thumbs up the video. Drop me a comment. It's very important. I got no comments at the moment because everyone's fucking run down with Klopp going. If you want to buy me a beer for Sunday or a coffee for Monday, hit the super thanks button and I'll give you a shout out tomorrow's video. Please read the video description, connect with me on social media, join the chat room, join the newsletter and all that other shite as well, if you can be bothered. Personally, I won't bother. You get in chat room, you just end up arguing with someone. You'll sign up for the newsletter and you'll be sat there for weeks wondering when the next one is. What's the fucking point? You know what I mean? But what I can guarantee you is I will definitely buy a fucking beer on Sunday because I'm having a fucking drink on Sunday. All right, guys. I think that's me done for today. What time is it? 1:05. 1:05. All right. Yeah, that's me finished for the day. It's hard life out here, guys. Honest. Really hard.